Hello everyone, how are you? Today we're going to go through a trade on the SP 500. Now, one of the things that we have to do is we have to try and make sure that the trade is in a good place. Now, if we have a look at the S&P and zoom out, we can see that we have this overall trend now running up nicely. Now, if I get a trend line on this, I started here and I go up underneath this low. I can see that, look here, it touches the floor here, goes up, touches the floor here, goes up, touches the floor here, goes up, touches the floor, going up, hits the floor, goes up, again floor going up, hits the floor, goes up, and then we have a touching a floor here. So, but again, before I take a trade on the S&P, I have to look at what the other indices are doing, because the S&P 500 is the top 500 companies in the US. So what I need to do is have a look and see what the other ones are doing. So if I have a look at the NASDAQ is also trending. But if I put a trend line on the NASDAQ here, for me it's not as clear, it's not as good. So then if I don't have a trend line, I need to try find the horizontal level. And there's the previous high, and this one hasn't come back down to it. So this one is not good enough. And if I put in the Dow Jones, so the Dow, again, it doesn't have a trend, and we have a lower high here. So if we look at this, the trend has got lower here on the Dow. But we do have sort of a double bottom here on the Dow. So there's a bottom, there's another bottom. But again, for me, it's not trending nice enough. Okay, it's pretty flat along there. It looks like it's sort of toppling over, it's going to fall over. So we're going to go back to the S&P. It seems to be the best of the three of them, and I never take a trade on all three, because basically you're trading the same asset. You're trading US stocks. So more or less, if one goes, they will all go. If one drops, all three of them will drop. So if we zoom in here, we have the lows. Look, it's a higher low, higher low, higher low. This is a high, higher high, higher high, and a higher high. So the highs are getting higher, the lows are getting higher. The cyclicity is pretty good. The distance in the highs are pretty much all the same. I know this one's a little bit smaller, but it then gives me a really good indication that this is going to continue going. So if I get my Fibonacci tool and I work out where my stop loss is first, so I'm going to zoom in. Now, my stop loss is always going to be underneath the low. So this is going to be a CFD trade. We're not going to trade this as the underlying asset. This is going to be a CFD trade. So we're going to find out where the bottom of this is. And we can see here, there's the bottom, okay, underneath this floor. So we're expecting to hit this floor. So I'm going to put my stop loss just there. And my entry is going to be a little bit above these three bars. So I'll see all three bars there. So my entry is going to be a little bit above there. So the idea is that I'm at the low here, and my stop loss is below the floor. My entry is above the bar. Now the reasoning for this is that I want to get triggered in when the bar takes off to the upside. I'm not going to get into the market live because I can't guarantee that it's going to go up. This could continue going down. If it continues going down, it has cost me no money, because that is the level I'm getting in there, 4493.5. so that's the point I want to get into the market. So that's why I'm not getting in live. So it means if this drops, it costs me absolutely nothing, whereas if this goes up and then comes down, I'm triggered out of the trade. There's nothing I can do. But the probability is telling me that there's more probability of this going up. Okay, there's more probability of this going up. Now, how far it's going to go up, I have no idea. But history tells me that if I am in a decent place, that this will continue to go. Some people say, Henry, this is overextended, and 100% it is overextended. But when do we think we're going to have a drop? The amount of times people have told me in January, February, we're going to have a crash, and then we had a correction, and then it continued going. So the problem is that we trade what we see. So there's January and February, so there's that correction. Look what's after happening since. If you expected the market to crash then, you would have missed out on all this profit. So trade what you see, and hopefully this continues to run. So just to recap, overall trend is going up. It's bouncing off the floor. The highs are getting higher. The lows are getting higher. The trend in cyclicity is there. It's a better trading opportunity than the likes of the Nasdaq and the Dow Jones. Entry, I'll pop it up here. So the entry is here at 4493.5. So that's the entry. And the stop loss is at 4429.5. And anytime I take a trade, I am only ever risking 1%. So this is a trade that I already have placed, and it's ready in my pending orders. So this is a pending order. So I placed that last night and I didn't get triggered in yet. So the market went the whole way down, it hit the floor again and then went back up. So what this bar here is telling me that the sellers started in the morning, pushed the price down, and then all of a sudden when I hit this low, the buyers started to push back in. So see this wick is really promising that tomorrow then that the buyers will kick in. Now I can be wrong. With my trading, I only have a 57% success rate with my trades, but anyone who has been on the Discord group, anyone that's on my free course, anyone who has listened to any of my videos before, my target is always 3 to 1. So I'm looking for a 3% return, 1% loss. So it means then that I lose, just to give an example of 100 quid, my take profit is 300. So out of those 57% wins, I'm having much bigger wins than I am losses. And that's what trading is about. Now, if you're an investor, you go to the SPY. So you go to the SPY, and if you're happy with this entry, you buy it, but you still only risk 1% of your account. Remember, trade at your own risk. This is not here to give you trade signals. I'm here to give you trading advice and show you how I trade and how I make money. And hopefully you have learned something from this video. If you are like this video and you like what the content you have there, click like on this. Just click like, click follow, and I generally put up about 2 videos a week. Thanks everyone. Hope you have a lovely day.